Welcome to Psychology Truth. In today's video, we're diving deep into a topic that almost everyone thinks about, but very few truly understand: how to create powerful, meaningful connections with influential people. Not surface-level networking, not forced conversations, and definitely not pretending to be someone you're not. We're talking about real influence, the kind that quietly opens doors, creates opportunities, and positions you in rooms where decisions are made. Because the truth is simple. No matter how talented, hardworking, or intelligent you are, your growth will always be shaped by the people you connect with. If you look carefully at the world around you, you'll notice something that most people overlook. The individuals who rise the fastest are not always the most talented. They are not always the most experienced. Instead, they are the ones who understand people. They understand timing, perception, and positioning. They know when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to make their presence felt without forcing it. And this is not luck. This is awareness. This is strategy. And most importantly, this is something you can learn. Before you even think about building connections with powerful people, you need to redefine what power actually means. Power is not always loud, and it's not always visible. It's not just about money, status, or a large audience. In fact, some of the most powerful individuals are the ones you barely notice at first. They are the ones who influence decisions quietly, who shape outcomes without needing recognition, and who move strategically rather than emotionally. If you only chase visible success, you'll often end up connecting with people who look powerful but lack real influence. But when you begin to observe carefully, you start noticing patterns. You notice who people listen to when decisions matter. You notice who others go to for advice. You notice who connects different groups together. That's where real power exists. And once you understand this, your approach to connections changes completely. Most people make the mistake of trying to be seen before they become valuable. They want attention first, and substance later. But this approach almost always fails, especially when dealing with influential individuals. Powerful people are surrounded by attention. They don't need more noise. What they value is clarity, usefulness, and intelligence. This is why your first focus should always be on becoming valuable. Ask yourself what you bring into a conversation. What makes you worth remembering? What perspective or skill makes you stand out naturally? When you invest in yourself, your knowledge, your communication, your awareness, you begin to carry a different kind of energy. You don't need to prove yourself because your presence already speaks for you. And this is where things start to shift. Instead of chasing attention, you start attracting it. First impressions play a critical role in shaping how people perceive you, and they happen faster than you think. Within seconds, people form judgments about your confidence, your awareness, and your value. This may not be entirely fair, but it is reality. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you hold eye contact, all of these details send signals. When you appear calm and composed, people naturally feel that you are in control, and control creates trust. Confidence is not about being loud or dominant. It's about being steady, clear, and present. It's about speaking with intention instead of reacting impulsively. When you master this, your presence becomes noticeable without being overwhelming. At the same time, one of the most powerful habits you can develop is learning to speak less, but say more. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, silence becomes a rare advantage. When you don't rush to fill every moment with words, you create space for observation. You begin to notice details that others miss. You listen more carefully, and when you finally speak, your words carry more weight because they are intentional. People begin to see you as thoughtful rather than reactive, and this perception alone can change how others respond to you. Listening, in fact, is one of the strongest tools you have when it comes to building meaningful connections. Most people listen only to reply. They are focused on what they will say next, instead of what is being said in the moment. But when you truly listen, something powerful happens. You begin to understand people. You understand their motivations, their challenges, and their values. And this understanding allows you to connect on a deeper level. When someone feels understood, they naturally feel comfortable around you. They feel respected, and that feeling creates trust. Trust is the foundation of every strong relationship, especially with influential individuals. Another factor that plays a huge role in your success is your ability to avoid desperation. The moment you appear overly eager for attention or approval, your value decreases instantly. This doesn't mean you should be distant or uninterested. It simply means you should be balanced. Approach interactions with curiosity, not neediness. Let conversations develop naturally. When you carry yourself with calm confidence, you communicate something powerful. You are not dependent on the outcome, and this mindset changes everything. It allows you to stay relaxed, think clearly, and respond intelligently. As you begin to shift your mindset, you'll notice that your approach to relationships starts to evolve. Instead of focusing on what you can gain from someone, you begin to focus on what you can build. Real connections are not transactional. They are built on trust, consistency, and mutual value. When you show genuine interest in people, when you take the time to understand them, and when you contribute without expecting immediate returns, you create something much stronger than a simple network. You create relationships that last. Your environment also plays a critical role in shaping your opportunities. If you surround yourself with people who are not growing, not thinking beyond limitations, and not challenging themselves, it becomes extremely difficult for you to grow. But when you place yourself in environments where people are ambitious, focused, and driven, you naturally begin to elevate your own standards. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. You might feel out of place or unsure. But that discomfort is a sign of growth. It means you are stepping into a new level, and if you stay consistent, that environment will begin to feel natural. Emotional control is another quality that separates those who build strong connections from those who struggle. Life will challenge you. People will test you. Situations will not always go your way. In those moments, your reaction matters more than anything else. If you react emotionally, you lose control. But if you stay calm and composed, you gain respect. Emotional control is not about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them and choosing your response carefully. When you develop this ability, you become someone others trust in difficult situations. One of the simplest but most powerful strategies is making others feel important. People may forget your words, but they will always remember how you made them feel. When you show respect, when you listen genuinely, and when you acknowledge others, they feel valued in your presence. And people are naturally drawn to those who make them feel valued. This is not manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. At the same time, being selective with your presence adds to your value. If you try to be everywhere and connect with everyone, you dilute your uniqueness. But when you choose carefully where you invest your time and energy, you create a sense of importance. Not every opportunity deserves your attention. Not every room deserves your presence. And when you understand this, you begin to move with intention instead of impulse. Building a strong reputation is something that takes time, but it is one of the most valuable assets you can have. You don't need to constantly talk about your achievements. In fact, the more you try to prove yourself, the less people believe you. Instead, let your actions speak. Be consistent. Be reliable. Deliver results. Over time, people will notice, and once your reputation is established, it begins to work for you. Opportunities start finding you instead of you chasing them. Finally, the most important principle of all is staying authentic while being strategic. Being strategic does not mean being fake. It means being aware. It means understanding how people think and how the world works, and using that understanding to position yourself wisely. But at the same time, you must remain true to who you are. Authenticity is what makes people trust you. It's what makes connections feel real instead of forced. When you combine authenticity with strategy, you create something powerful, a presence that attracts the right people naturally. At the end of the day, building connections with powerful people is not about shortcuts, tricks, or manipulation. It's about becoming someone who naturally belongs in those circles. When you focus on growth, value, awareness, and consistency, you don't need to chase influence. It begins to come to you, and once you reach that point, everything changes, not just your network, but your entire direction in life.